Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking about how to stop comparing your life and yourself to others. And I feel like I made a video on this before, but I guess that it's always okay to make another one. And I'm sorry if my voice sounds like really weird right now. I think there's a cold going around and it's just kind of like scratchy, but whatever. And yeah, but basically I am just going to be talking about how to stop kind of like comparing yourself. And this is something I kind of struggle with, so I don't know how rightfully I am to be talking about it, but I'm still going to talk about it because I guess this is kind of just more of like a chit chat, kind of like things I do to try to help myself with it and things that may help you. And I guess it's going to have like a little girl talk. Boys are welcome too, just for anyone, literally whatever. But yes, I am just going to get into it. Okay, so number one is comparing yourself is something that we don't even know we're doing half the time, and it kind of just happens impulsively. Like, we're scrolling through TikTok and it's actually like really sad the amount of like I see really pretty girls on my For You page, and then sometimes I decide to look at the comments and like every single comment is like, God has favorites, oh, to be you, I would have no problems in my life if I looked like you, and all those sort of things. And it genuinely makes me really sad that some girls just sit there. I'm not gonna act like this isn't me sometimes, but we just sit there scrolling and looking at really pretty girls, and then we're like, oh my gosh, I really wish I was her. And literally, and half the girls who are saying the crap like, oh, to be you, are like the most gorgeous people ever. And I'm looking at their profiles, I'm like, girl, what? Oh, to be you. But like, seriously, it's just a cycle, and everyone wants what they don't have. If I have brown eyes, sometimes I'm gonna be honest with y'all, sometimes I want like green eyes. Sometimes people with blue eyes want brown eyes. It's just a cycle of like, everyone wants what they don't have. And I think that's just how the world works. So there's times where I have like a wavy hair texture, and there's times like I really just wish I had straight hair. It'd be so much easier. But then people with straight hair are like, oh my gosh, I wish I had wavy hair. We always want what someone else has and we don't have, but we don't know that there are literally people out there looking at us like, oh my gosh, I wish I had what she had. So the thing is, God gave you what you, and you don't have to believe in God to watch this video. Everyone's welcome, but this is just what I believe in, so I'm just going to talk about it. But God gave you exactly what you have for a reason. He created everybody beautifully. And just because you don't have what someone else has, that does not mean you're not beautiful. And I know that probably sounds really corny and cheesy. You might just want to click off now, but it's really true. You got to think about it. God creates no mistakes. He creates nothing ugly. And why spend the rest of your life constantly wishing to look like someone else that you're not? Because the truth is, no matter how hard you try, no matter what plastic surgery you get, no matter what you do with your hair or makeup, you're never gonna exactly look like anybody else. You can look a lot like someone else, but you're never gonna exactly be them. They're not gonna have the same life as you. They're not gonna have the same like looks as you. They're not gonna have the same things you deal with, the same like quirks you have. Just you're never gonna be exactly anybody else. So would you really want to be, think about it this way, would you want to be on your deathbed, like waking up and on your deathbed, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I've literally spent my whole life wishing to be somebody that I'm not, and I really wish I would have just liked who I was at like 14 or 20 or whatever age you are. And sometimes I think one thing that really can help is journaling. If you journal, it really just if you journal like things you like about yourself, things you want to work on, it really helps you get to know yourself better. And that's something I'm going to start trying to do a lot more, but it does help. And yeah, journaling can really help you get to know yourself better. And there's a bunch of other things you can do, but you got to realize that you're never gonna be somebody else, and you're only ever gonna be yourself. So start enjoying the like special things that God gave you, instead of just sitting around wishing you had what someone else had. And I understand there are just times where we're going to be insecure, and I have those times a lot. Trust me, just trust me on that. But one thing that I'm really starting to do, instead of just letting myself cry about it, like, oh my gosh, I want to look like her, it isn't fair, like, why is my body like this, just like all these different things, I that's completely valid. I'm not trying to invalidate anyone's feelings. Sometimes we just need to do that. Sometimes it's just good to let it all out, and I understand that. But at some point, you do have to realize that you're just never gonna be anybody else. So don't waste your life trying to be somebody else. And I know you probably think that someone who's pretty might have their life all together and their life's perfect, but just because they're pretty does not mean their life's perfect. You don't know what they're going through. They could be going through so much and you might not know it. So just be thankful with where you are at in life. God created no one to be living at the same exact pace. And trust me, if God wanted all of us to be looking exactly the same, God would have created it that way. He would have created everyone with blonde hair and blue eyes if they wanted them to be that way. But God created girls with brown eyes and brown hair and red hair and green eyes and all these different things, and just like all these different forms of beauty, because the world was never created to look exactly the same. The world was created to look different, and that's what's genuinely beautiful, because like you might look at someone else and be like, oh my gosh, she's just so beautiful, and that's completely okay. It's okay to like recognize God's creation. I do that a lot. That's another thing. Instead of sitting around looking at pretty girls on TikTok and being like, oh, to be you, just say, oh my gosh, you're such a beautiful creation, because that's what I've been trying to like train my brain process into doing. Because it's really, just think about it like this. God created a sunset and a flower, and they're both so gorgeous, but they're both so different from each other. And that's just like you and the girl you're comparing yourself to. You're beautiful, and so is she. And I don't care what you think about yourself. If you think you're ugly, you're probably not, and you're gorgeous. So just go find those things that you like about yourself and embrace them, and play around with your hair, play around with makeup, but embrace who you genuinely are. And like I said, journaling really helps. There's a bunch of videos out there you can probably watch, but journaling really helps to know yourself better. And one thing, if you're still watching to this point, I want you to put in the comments one thing you like about yourself. Please do it. Okay, just do it. Because I don't care if you don't think it doesn't have to be something on the outside. It can be something on the inside. It can be something you think is stupid. Anything. I'm not going to judge, guys. No one's judging here. But just anything you like about yourself. Because I think that's one really good thing to do a day. Just look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself one thing you like about yourself. Because it helps more than you think it would. And, yeah. So that's kind of like my little rant on comparison today. I'm not going to make this overly long, because I know you guys probably have stuff to do, but I hope this video somehow helped somebody. And just remember, everyone's at their own pace in life. You're not going to live anybody else's life, because you're living your own life. God created you to be specifically you. And yeah, so that's basically what I was thinking about today. And I understand it's hard, but you've got this. I love you. And if you ever need to talk, comment on one of my videos and I can help you with whatever and give you advice, because, you know, y'all are literally my friends. Like, I could have a million of you guys and you'd all just be my friends, and I try to, like, talk to as many of you as possible in the comments. But, you know, I love you all so much, and I know it's hard, but I just want to let you know, I struggle with this too. You're not alone. I know what you probably think you're really alone in this insecurity challenge journey with your life, but you're not. Just trust me. Like every single girl, no matter how confident and pretty they are, they're struggling with insecurities just like you. There's no person that does not feel insecure, at least at some point in their life. And I love you so, so much, except God. But yeah, he's perfect. So, yeah, I love you so much. Don't change for anybody, and only change for yourself. I love you. Goodbye.